My name is Michael Kai, and I work in the Environmental Effects and Coatings branch at NASA's Glenn Research Center. Back in 1975, when I was 16 years old, I took my first flying lesson. At age 21, I earned my private pilot rating, and now at 61 years old, I've been flying for 45 years. It's hard to believe. Um, Back when we were kids, my mom and dad would take my brother Larry and I to Cleveland Hopkins Airport to watch airplanes take off and land. We went to the air shows, we built, flew, crashed model airplanes, and we loved every minute of it. We couldn't get enough of aviation. Both my brother and I went on to become private pilots. Uh, Back in 1989, I was able to purchase an antique 1946 Aranca Champ, a small two-seat airplane. A friend of mine, Joe Tomasic, who was a United Airlines mechanic, Joe and I bought the airplane for $3,500 a piece. This was a great alternative to renting Cessnas or Pipers. That was out of my budget at the time, so flying this simple antique airplane was extremely affordable. In 1991, a good friend of mine, Frank Pavliga, gave me a ride in his home-built airplane that he built with his father, a Pete and Pole air camper. I was hooked on open cockpit flying at that point, and I had to build that same airplane that Frank had, and he guided me along the way. And 4.5 years later, I was able to finish and fly the airplane that you see behind me. I've been flying this for 22 years. This is a Pete and Pole air camper. It's a 65 horsepower Continental engine. It cruises at a leisurely 65 miles an hour. I've flown the airplane to Oshkosh and many air shows around the states that surround Ohio. And it's just a fun, economical way to fly. And this is the kind of aviation that I choose to partake in. So if you've ever ridden on a motorcycle, or if you've been in a speedboat or a convertible car with the wind blowing, you know I have no doubt that you too would love an open cockpit airplane ride.